Right, manual's out. I've laid out all the parts off the first page, and I think pretty much the first parts off the second page. I was trying my hardest to try and do something like I would do with a Tamiya and get these things in pots, but there's so many bags, I haven't got enough pots. I don't think anybody would have enough pots, especially for the screws. They've put, I mean, it kind of works, and I kind of get what I've done. They've put the screws for each thing in separate bags with separate part numbers on, which is fine. It just, it would mean decanting every single bag into one of these little tubs. I just haven't got that many tubs. And it doesn't really matter because you only need to do so many at once. So just going to crack on with this first part, which is essentially putting the diffs together. Well, the diffs are already together, should I say, and attaching them to the shock towers. So this should be hopefully fairly simple. Get these out, just check them over as well. Have a feel of them. Oh, they definitely feel alright. So these are pre-built, and yeah, they feel okay. Feel perfect, that one does. Front and rear diffs. So they want us to put the shock towers on them. Shock tower front is part number 96, which is this one. So I'm only going to get one of these out at a time. So that's the front one. We'll get that rear diff out of the way because we don't need it. And we want these balls now. I have decanted these because I knew I was going to use them. So we want a shock tower to bolt up to this. No, first things first, we're going to put these, so we don't need a diff yet. First things first, we're just going to put the balls on. And it would appear that I haven't actually got all the parts I need, because you actually go through these, looking at this, actually goes through these and then screw the tops. So okay, yeah, well, we can put these in, two of these in the bottom. I got confused with these instructions because they've got what looks to be an aluminium edge around the holes, so I assumed there was some sort of bush in there, but there isn't. I'm hoping these are the same as a Tamiya, not? Yeah. The trick that I learnt a while back was to back it off every now and again as it's making a thread. It makes a better thread if you back it off just as you're going to do it up. And I don't know how soft this is, so I don't know how easily it's going to do up. Yeah, I mean, you can't do that up super tight, but I don't think it needs to be. So nylon, this stuff locks itself in there anyway, you're not going into metal. So there'll be parts of this video where I'm just going to assemble it. I'll put some music in it, just going to assemble it because there's noise going on and I can't control that. And then I shall pipe up when anything comes up that I think needs doing, needs talking about. I mean, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So the screw bag for it, 6.6, I might have put that out. No. So what I've done down here, there's all the screws laid down. You can't see them, I don't think. All the screws are laid down and they are part numbered. So these are, oh no, 20, I might have put these out. Let's have a look. No, so I'm looking for ending 220. Yeah. Right. So these are 3x15 and I, at the moment I only need a couple, so they don't tend, it doesn't look to me as if they're using standardised screw sizes, so I'm going to have to chop these out, put them in the tub and make sure that that stays with it. I'll chop that down so I can see what I'm doing, and that's what I do with the Tamiya, so you can just see what you're doing and you don't have to keep opening the bags and messing about. Right, so there are some balls though, which is 9-1. So I do need to keep those safe, so we use those somewhere else. I'm going to use 2 on this. Yeah, I'd already got them. Okay, was a bit ahead of myself and I'd already done it. Right, so again I'm just going to keep these safe in here. I'm going to use 2 at the moment. Pots, if you've got enough pots, pots are the way you should keep this all sorted. I just haven't got enough of them, because I've already used quite a few just to put the other stuff in. I might put a dab of thread lock on the other side. Yeah, they don't do up, it's just very tight those. Okay, there's not much screw hanging out of there, not a lot at all. So I think I'll have some thread lock on it, especially with me putting a lot of power through it. I think it's probably a good idea. Don't want much, so we'll come flying out now. So don't, yeah, quite a lot on there. So he's got thread lock on. A little bit too much on that one, but I can't see these needing to come off unless I break them, which could well happen. So get the Tamiya nut, and just snip these up. That's enough with the thread lock. Doesn't actually tell you to thread lock these, but if you've been building kits for a long time, you know that you should be into metal thread locking them. They'll only fall off at some point if you don't. Sometimes I don't mind risking it if I've got spares, so we'll see how many spares I've got at the end as well. So there's the first part done. Now we've just got to fix that to the actual diff. Which looks like it goes that way. So I think that slot, yeah, that slot's in there. So now we're looking for 229. So I've already got it out. 229 screws. There we go. See, they've put 229 and they've put 4 in the bag. So we're going to use all of these in one go. At some point I'm going to get my electric screwdriver set up, because I can spin some of these in. It's not a good idea to spin them in for the first time, really. I'm hoping that it's actually not bendy because it's cheap crap. I'm hoping that it's bendy so that when it takes an impact it doesn't snap, because the one thing about the plastics on the older vintage stuff, they're quite brittle. Well, that's got some bend in it. To stop as well. So there's one part of the assembly. It's this part here, and all looks good. Looks the way it's supposed to. So there's one part done. So the rear one doesn't go on yet. So I've just got to make up the rear shock tower. It's this part here, which is 9/7. Right, so these look very familiar. We need these two. 9/1, that'll be the last time we need those as well, by those things. That's all we've got. And we need the balls, which I'm guessing are the same. Just double check. 220, yeah. I'm going to use these quite a lot by the looks of things. 2 of those. And hopefully screws we've already got, because they're the same. I'm guessing it's these 2, I think. Have a look. 366, yeah, and these 2 screws. And that gets rid of another packet. All you're really doing when you build these kits is trying to get rid of packets. Have a bit of fun while you're doing it, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to get rid of packets. Right, let's just make sure we get this the right way around. They are handed. I'm just going to dab some inside, some dreadlock inside. This dreadlock tends to come out way too fast because I cut it. Oh, there we go. Well, that's miles too much. Miles too much, but we can pour some of that out into there. Just a little bit much. Dab it. Okay. I've got them in quickly with a nut runner on the end of the drill. Do that at your own risk, because if you go too far you'll strip it. Would have got it started quicker though. Right, we're not trying to rush it though. Just about to strip there. Oh, took a bit longer than it should have done, that did. We've already thread locked the other side of these, so I'm just going to screw those on quickly. This one's taken longer than it should have done. Confusing. So there's thread lock in there. Keep it on, right, and so I'm used to, if you're going to thread through something and bolt it up, I'm used to be able to just have a clearance fit, but these are all, you've got to kind of tap these through, which is a bit unusual. just makes it take longer for no apparent reason really. Tiny bit of a bigger hole would have stopped that. Right, there's thread lock in there. Okay, right. Top tip, don't cut your thread lock off too close to the nozzle. Makes the hole too big and then it comes out too fast. Right, okay, let's have a look at this, make sure I've got it the right way up. We're all good. Okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to make up this rear wing mount. So I'm just putting these parts here. Those parts are made, we don't need that yet. The rear wing mount is made up of this part, which is engine 300, that's one. We've got .301, which are these end parts. The screws are, I think they're two different sorts, that's why I've got two different ones here. Yeah, there's two different sorts. So this, we're going to have spare ones of these, so we're only using two of those. A 225 screw it all together at the other end, and we're going to have spare ones of those. So I've got a few spare pots, and we're also missing what seems to be the middle brace, and that's a metal piece. Just grab those and some pots. Okay. Again, the instructions not the clearest, and I wasn't paying attention, so the actual metal part is in with these rear things. I was looking for a separate part number, I already had it. So I only want 4 of these. So part number 25 at the end. I want 4 of these. And I've got to keep these safe. I've got all the screws laid out at the other end of the bench. That's 4 of those. Now we only want 2 of these. Part number 231 is what screws the middle part of it together. I only want 2 of those. So I don't want to pull them all out, but this is why pots help. It's almost impossible to see which is the right way around on these things. It could be all sorts of different ways this wing can. I'm going to try it this way. Kind of looks right. That looks right to me, but we'll soon find out if I'm right or not. So, I want the other one. Why can't I get this to sit right? Because I'm going the wrong way. Doesn't look like it's going to fit, but the holes are miles too close together, miles too close. I don't really know what to say about that other than the fact that they are. And they're showing the wing mount mounted on the outside of this assembly and the inside at different points on the instructions, and I honestly, without fiddling with it backwards and forwards, don't know which is the right way. But it can't possibly be the way I'm doing it now. That would put the wing mount that close together. Just can't be that way. Be too close together. So the only thing I can do is change it again. I mean, diagrams, it doesn't, you know, you just have to get them right. That's all you have got to do. You don't even need any language in it. Right, let's just, before I tighten that up, I just want to see if that sits on there, which it doesn't. It might do with a bit of a, yeah, I think it needs a bit of a, I'm not too sure how that fixes on there, if I'm honest. But that's right, that's right. So the instructions are showing these on the outside, and you actually have to put them on the inside. Lower down in the instructions it shows them inside. This also shows them going inside and making it short. This is, so the instructions are completely wrong. So bear that in mind. If you don't take anything from this video, take that from it. So I've got to just finish doing this up, and it's taken a long time to figure that out. But at least I'll have a heads up. I'll keep my eye out for anything else now. Because sometimes, if the instructions aren't right, you've got to start really digging into your common sense and just saying, right, well, what works and what doesn't. It's very flimsy plastic, so just one more check. Yeah, and that straightens it out as well. So that's it. And essentially, that's just got to go, right, these two here, 4 should I say. At least I don't have to thread them through. Okay, 1. 226, because these screws, yeah, they're the right screws, super close together, really close together, almost, I think they're touching. I don't think it'll make any difference. Just tighten it up. Yeah, this plastic is a lot softer than you'd get on, say, a Tamiya kit. You can't torque these up anywhere near as much as you would do on a Tamiya kit. So, okay, let's just whack these in. A few seconds just to bed in, and that'll be the final done. So, okay, right. Now is when you find out you're doing it upside down. Right, that's the rear tower, that looks right. I want to tighten these, now this is together in one piece. I don't know how much I can get away with tightening these. Plastic's really thin there. But if anything's going to rattle out, it'll be this one. Okay, right, well, it looks like a shock tower with a wing mount on it. Does the wing fit? yeah, the wing fits. So the instructions can do one. Do it the way it works, not the way the instructions tell you. Rear diff uses screws 229. So we can put these back out of the way. I mean, if this was a Tammy, I think they've only got a couple of different self-tappetizers. I mean, I think there's 2 or 3, maybe 2. You'd just be cracking away with the same screws. Right, so I'm looking for, it's got 2 different types of screw going in it. Why would it have 2 different types of screw? Screw which ends 229, I haven't got that screw, it doesn't appear to be here. So there's the next screw up, which is called 230, is the right length for what I need. So I'm going to pinch a couple of those and just have to cross the bridge of, hopefully there's some spare ones, because so yeah, well, because I haven't got any screws to use other than those. So I need long ones and short ones, so use long ones to go in the bottom, and what you're essentially doing is just screwing the wrong hole, screwing the whole rear back together to the diff. So and it did take, I made a cut because it did take quite a long time to figure out I didn't have the screws. And if I'm honest, I spent so much time trying to figure out where the screws were, I started to put this on back to front, because you can put it on back to front. Trouble is, I've lost trust in the instructions. Okay, right, so that was the bottom part, this part here, putting that together. We've done this part, we've done all that, so that's that part. Now, put those out of the way, they're done. Then it's going on to these suspension arms. Well, they call them suspension arms, but yeah, I mean, I've got a bag of them here, and they all look made up. So short of maybe adjusting the size on them, they're already there. So I'm going to start off the next video there, and then work through to the next page. So that's that for now. Well, I just cut that video, and actually watching it back, realised what I'd done wrong. It's only a small error, but on the front diff, you've got 2 different sizes of screw that hold it together. So you've got a slightly longer one there, and I'd put one that was miles too long through it basically. So I'd actually used up the screw I needed for the back diff. It was only when I watched the video back that I realised I used the wrong screw. So I just quickly whipped the screws out of that one, put them in this one, and then that freed up the other screws again. So just corrected an error on that. But yeah, these, like I said, there's the screws that came out. There's the spare ones, and they need to go back. So yeah, that's sorted, and it was my mistake. Unlike the wing, which was a total nightmare because the instructions are completely wrong for the wing mount. But yeah, not to worry, they're done. And like I said, next video, going to start here with these. I don't suspect there's going to be much to do there, because like I said, they're already made up. And then it'll be moving on to servo saver and putting all that steering assembly together on this page. So that's the next bit. I've got the parts out for it. So yeah, that's me done.